The modern women tutorials. Look for your man, for your husband in your 20s, and look for a career in your 30s and up, right? The idea is early in life, you should be looking for, a husband or at least someone to spend the rest of your life with, right? Logically. Because I know it's a lot of ladies out here want to do the career first and the family second, when you should build the family first and then the career second. One, after a while, the career gets boring, it gets pointless. Um, and there's only but so much you can do in life anyway. So why spend large majority, especially your youth, right? Your best, your prime on work, right? So it's better to, especially when it comes to the whole family thing, since it's something you're going to have, and you know, until the end of your life, because a job is not that important when you're old, you're close to dying, right? But a family would be important late in life. So that's why it's good to get it early in life, so you have it late in life, and then get the job late in life because it's irrelevant. A job is a job, right? It's something you do in order to make some money, and the money is so you can pay bills. And think about it: you're working so that way you can give some the reward, which is money, right, to someone else. That way they can live their life without having to work. Because most of the people you give money to aren't working. You're working so that way they can live their best life. So you see the contradiction there. If you don't see it, well, that's what they want. They want you not to see it, not to see that your existence is to make their existence better and easier and more fulfilling. So they're living life. You're not. See, you work to live, they live to work as a work, right? They live to do what they want to do, whether it's work or not, right? Whether it's a job or not. I don't want you to be in that situation. I understand that some people like to have their cake and eat it too, even though that's something that is supposed to be a paradox. You're not supposed to be able to do both, right? Eat your cake but still have it, right? But most people in this day and age, truly wants to break that rule, right? So the logical way to try to have your cake and eat it too would be to, you know, get the family early when you're at your best, your prime, right? And then when you're not your best, right? After 30, typically, then the career should be a thing. And you have to think about it logically. Most careers last 20 years anyway, sometimes less. So why waste? So why go from 20 to 40, right, doing your career thing, and then be like, okay, now I want a family, but it's like, well, now you're in your 40s. It's going to be harder, especially if you want to make babies, right? That's going to make it harder because you're in your 40s now. So that's a biology thing. So that's why it's logical, smart, educated to, in the, in the first, when you're 20, from 20 to 30, make the family then, right? And remember, you're not going to be alone unless you make the wrong decisions, right? Pick the wrong guy. That's why you need to quickly learn how to pick the right guy. It has to be the guy that wants a family, that wants to stay with you, that wants to provide and protect and all that good stuff. Not the guy that just finds you attractive, wants to hit it and quit it. Typically, most of you ladies choose the guy that wants to hit and quit it. And typically, it's just common sense nowadays, or should be. If he's really really attractive, yeah, he's just gonna be for sex. He has no interest in taking care of you. So stop choosing the extremely good looking guys, right? Look for a guy that has a great personality, good guy, that, you know, obviously a nice suit or clothes, goes to the gym, right? Takes care of his skin with some skincare routines. There you go. He'll be good looking. I'm not saying you need to, you know, get with a guy that looks like Freddy Krueger, but most guys don't look like Freddy Krueger, so Most guys are decent looking. They just they just need a little better hygiene. That's it. A little better style. And most of you ladies love style and fashion and this, that, and third. This is part of why most of you ladies wear makeup, to make yourselves look better. So why don't you use your skill of looking better, right, to help a guy look better, right? This is what ladies of the past used to do. They used to make guys better, right? They used to improve them. There'll be a guy that wears like, I don't know, sweat clothes all the time, or just some goofy outfit or something, and she'll bring style into his life, order. She'll decorate his place and whatnot. That's the thing. We bring something to the table, and the ladies used to have something to bring to the table, which was cleanliness and order and this and that third. Because guys typically were slobs. Ironically, I've seen the change where females are more of a slob. Their rooms be looking a total mess. So that's definitely a paradigm shift there. But yeah, definitely need to improve upon what y'all doing in your life. Because the thing is, you can't, it's called multitasking. You can do both. You can look for a husband, right? You can look for a partner, whatever you want to call it nowadays, but still, work towards whatever goals you have. I'm not against a chick, you know, wanting to have a job and this, that, that. I'm all for it. The thing I noticed that I don't like is the fact that it's the choosing jobs and paying bills and money over a guy. Yet you still want to interact with a guy, but it always turns out negative because money, job tends to be more important. And that's unfortunate that, the female species values materialistic things over realistic things. Because women of the past cared if a guy was a decent human being more than they cared about if he was tall, in shape, was rich or not, right? Not saying that, ladies of the past chose guys who were broke, of course not. Obviously, they chose a guy who can provide. So that way y'all can live because, y'all live in a society. Even if you didn't live in a society, let's say you lived on an island. Well, being on an island with a guy who can't fish, who can't hunt or kill, or who's incapable of it, who, is scared at the idea of killing an animal just so y'all can survive. That's not the type of guy you want to be on an island with. All right? You want to be on an island with a guy who can, who's in relatively good shape, so he can swim and hopefully not get eaten by a shark, right? And grab some oysters, right? Grab some fish, and feed y'all. Octopus, right? Do some sushi type stuff, right? You want him to be skillful. You want him to be good at what he does because that helps you. That's beneficial to you. And of course, ladies always had a habit of, learning from guys. A lot of the things ladies did was from guys. A lot of the hobbies ladies had or, was from guys they dated. I've seen many of chicks that, I'd be like, it's interesting that you like that hobby, or you like sports, or you like fixing cars. Like, that's interesting. But whenever you ask them what got them started, it usually was a boy, right? It's like, oh, my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that. It's like, okay. So it was a guy that got you into that. It wasn't your own interest. It was his interest. And then it became your interest. So that's the thing. That's why it's not surprising that nowadays ladies want to do what guys do. Because that's always been your nature. If a guy likes football, you being his girlfriend, by default, you're going to start liking football. You're going to support him. You're going to wear matching outfits and make snacks for game day and all that stuff, which is all cute, by the way. We love that. But that's why it's interesting that ladies, out here trying to get the bag, trying to make money, this, that, and the third, and then be wondering why they're having trouble with the guys. It's like because you're one of the guys. That's why. And you're one of the guys in general. Not that you have the same similar interests as the guy you're trying to be with. You just have a general interest. So if you're, I'll say, very masculine, well, that means you've been around too many guys. So then now you're literally just one of the boys. And regardless what most people nowadays say, the boys don't really like the boys like that. Right? That's for a different conversation. But we like the girls, right? We like femininity. We like the ladies to be ladies, right? We like you to be different than us. That it's always the opposite attracts. I don't want a chick that's exactly like me, but I do want a chick similar, right? I want a chick who's strong, smart, right? Likes to have fun, who's funny, this, that, has good qualities, is what I'm saying. The good qualities that I see in myself, I want to see in her, but it doesn't have to be at the same level. Because I want there to be a difference, right? I want her to like things that that are opposite from me, and things that are opposite from her. Because one of the things that happens is by being opposite and by having different interests is that we can share it. We could be the reason the other one likes the thing, right? Let's say I like football and she doesn't. Well, because of me, now she does, right? And vice versa, and that's how we bond. That's how we connect. She can always say that I'm the reason that she got into something, and I could always say she's the reason I got into something, right? That's always a good thing. But then we back to the 20s and 30s thing. It's like, because for guys, especially when they're in their 20s, that's their prime years. That's when they're at their peak strength. Typically, that's the best time for them to do a lot of work, a lot of manual labor, right? Unless they can fast track and sorry, bypass a lot of manual labor stuff and go straight into like real estate and that kind of stuff and build their wealth that way. But first and foremost, most guys have to start off using their natural ability, right? What they have right off the bat to make money, which is their strength. We understand ladies, their strength is their sexuality, so no surprise that a lot of ladies in their 20s tend to try to use that. And that's fine. It's just, you're supposed to use your sexuality to get a quality guy who is using his strength or his intellect to, achieve something, wealth and whatnot, and a life in general, just a life. Money's irrelevant. It's about the life and building something, for you to retire on, and then live your best life in the future, as opposed to trying to live your best life now. Because in your youth, you're supposed to work hard to achieve a life for your old age. People are confused and think that they're supposed to live their best life now, which is incorrect. And we've seen it time and time again so far. We've seen people already in their 40s, right, 50s, that had lived their best life in their youth, and now they're not. That's why you have to reverse it and make it where you work hard in your youth and then live your best life in your old age. And I've seen tons of people in their old age living their best life, living the life that they would have lived when they were in their 20s. And I'm happy for them because it's like that's the right way of doing it, right? Your best life is supposed to be at the end of life, not at the beginning of life. You're supposed to go through a lot of bullshit in your life to make you a strong person, because life is hard, right? And it gets harder over time. So the difficulty level increases. So you're supposed to prepare, just like you do in a video game. You're supposed to level up, gather your resources at the beginning of the game, so you can have them for at the end of the game, so you can win the game, right? Beat the bosses and all that stuff. That's what that's for. So a lot of people playing the game wrong of life, right? Playing the game of life wrong. They're trying to get all the rewards now when they're supposed to try to get it close to the end of the game, because the goal is to beat the game. not to stay in the game, right? So take that into consideration, that you definitely should try to get, you know, everything you plan to get in the future. You should try to get it now. Because I remember a long time ago when I was young, right? The idea of waiting until like I'm in my 40s, right, to like start a business and this, that, there, right, and achieve all my goals. Sorry. Obviously, that would be a bad idea, because that's a lot of time being wasted and spent waiting for that time to come and then to start, right? Why start late when I could start early? So of course I started early. I started building things early, and of course I give that advice to a lot of people. A lot of people younger than me, of course, about that they need to, so definitely put things together now. Um, so that way, now in my, I mean, well, back then and then now, I already have all the foundations, all the stuff I need to, build everything I want to do. So I'm doing a lot of stuff I want to do right now, which is great. And it's because I started early. So that's why people younger than me, I always give them the advice that's like, whatever you want to do, you got to start now. If you want to be a doctor, you need to start watching like doctor shows and documentaries and read books and go on, YouTube and Google, right? And start getting a lot of that knowledge now. Don't wait until you go to, like, medical school and then start trying to learn to be a doctor. You should be trying to learn that stuff now before you do that. That way, that would be easier. You don't want to wait till later, because to me it's like a form of procrastination, right? Don't wait until the very end to try to start doing something. Start at the beginning. Start when you can. Start when you have the free time. Especially a lot of people under the age of 18, y'all have a lot of free time because y'all not doing much of anything. Your parents are taking care of a lot of things. So while you're in that position, while somebody else is taking care of responsibilities for you, you level up, right? You educate yourself. I'm all for people, you know, learning and getting their shit together before they're 18. And then when they're 18, that's when they start, working, right? Start doing things, start learning how the world works and stuff like that. Then when you're in your 20s and this, that, and third, that's when you start like building stuff. For guys, obviously, it's building their empire, as it were. And for the ladies, it's finding that guy, that guy who's building something, and then work with him. Again, you can do your career thing, you can build your own stuff, but why not build it with a partner, right? Why not build it with somebody? Why not build what you want to build alongside somebody else, as opposed to trying to do it by yourself, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. There's a reason that people say that, because it's true. Two heads are better than one. It's better to have two people working on something than just one person working on it. Right? We all need a team, so build a team, right? Um, well, you get the idea. When you're young, build for your future. When you're old, do all the things you want to do, like live your best life.